Imagine standing at the edge of a dark forest. The trees are tall, their shadows stretching toward you like silent invitations. Anxiety is that forest, unknown, overwhelming, but filled with secrets waiting to be uncovered. And Jung gave us a torch to navigate it. Stay with me on this profound journey into the depths of Carl Jung's philosophy and psychology. Together, we will explore the hidden messages of anxiety, the wisdom of the unconscious, and the path to true self-discovery. You feel it, don't you? That gnawing restlessness, that tight grip in your chest. Anxiety. But what if I told you it isn't your enemy? What if it's the whisper of something deeper, something ancient within you, calling you toward transformation? Carl Jung was a Swiss psychiatrist and the founder of analytical psychology. Unlike many of his contemporaries, Jung saw the human mind as more than just a mechanical function. It was a vast, mysterious realm filled with symbols, archetypes, and messages from the unconscious. His work laid the foundation for concepts like the shadow, individuation, and active imagination, all of which help us navigate the inner world. Jung believed that much of our suffering comes from ignoring or repressing these unconscious messages. Anxiety, he taught, is not just a disorder. It's a signpost, a signal that something within you is trying to rise to the surface. Anxiety isn't just suffering, it's a message, a voice from the unconscious, urging you to listen. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, what exactly is my anxiety trying to tell me? Could it be pointing you towards something unresolved, something important that you've overlooked? Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." A voice from the unconscious, urging you to listen. Think about that unease you feel. It's not random. It's a symbol, a signal, a doorway. But instead of opening it, you resist. You fight it, and so it grows stronger. The more you run, the more it chases you. But what if you turned to face it? What if you stopped running and started listening? Because in the next section, I will show you how Jung's active imagination technique can help you do just that. Stay with me. This is where transformation begins. And if you're finding these insights valuable, subscribe now for more deep psychological wisdom. Imagine standing before a vast, ancient door. It's heavy, worn by time, and locked. Behind it, something stirs. You feel its presence, its weight pressing against your chest. This door is your anxiety. And what lies beyond? That is for you to discover by the active imagination. Jung believed that the unconscious mind is not just a collection of forgotten memories, but a living, breathing entity that speaks to us in symbols, dreams, and emotions. Anxiety, fear, restlessness, these are the echoes of something deeper. When ignored, they grow louder. But when faced, they reveal their wisdom. Most people try to run from anxiety. They numb it, suppress it, or deny its existence. But what if, instead of pushing it away, you invited it in? What if you asked anxiety, "Why are you here? What is it that I need to confront within myself?" You might be surprised by the answer. They numb it, suppress it, or deny its existence. But you are different. You are here, ready to listen. This is where active imagination begins. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Allow your anxiety to take shape. Maybe it's a shadow, shifting and restless. Maybe it's a figure standing just at the edge of your vision. Do not run. Do not resist. Simply watch. Ask it, who are you? Why are you here? Listen. Let the answer emerge without forcing it. Perhaps it speaks in words, or maybe it answers in images, memories, or sensations. This is your unconscious speaking. Jung said, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." The moment you acknowledge your fear, it loses its grip. Anxiety is not your enemy. It is a messenger, a signal that something within you seeks to be known. But what is it trying to reveal? To truly understand, we must go deeper, into the shadow, the hidden force that fuels your fears. Stay with me, because in the next section we will unveil what has been concealed in the darkness for too long. Jung introduced the concept of the shadow, the hidden, repressed parts of yourself, the fears you ignore, the desires you suppress, the wounds you pretend aren't there. But the shadow doesn't disappear just because you refuse to see it. It grows, festers, and manifests as anxiety. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. That tension you feel, that unease, it's guiding you toward what you haven't yet accepted within yourself. When you resist your own emotions, you wage war against your own soul. But if you dare to integrate the shadow, to listen instead of fight, you transform fear into wisdom. And how do you do this? By grounding yourself in the present moment. In the next section, we'll explore mindfulness, the art of observing your thoughts without letting them consume you. Don't miss it. Imagine this. You are standing in the middle of a storm. The wind howls, the rain beats against your skin, and chaos surrounds you. But then you take a step back. You realize that you are not the storm. You are the observer, standing in the eye of it, untouched. This is mindfulness. Jung reminds us that we must be present with our emotions, not lost in them. He said,
"Even a happy life cannot be without a measure of darkness, and the word happy would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness."
Life is a dance between light and dark, between joy and suffering. The mistake we make is believing that to be at peace, we must eliminate the darkness entirely. But the truth is, we must learn to coexist with it. Anxiety is a product of the mind drifting between the past and the future. It is born from memories that haunt us and fears of what is yet to come. But in this very moment, right now, where is your anxiety? If you listen closely, you'll realize it exists only in thoughts, not in reality. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Hold it. Now exhale slowly. As you do, ask yourself, where is my mind right now? Is it stuck in the past, replaying old wounds? Or is it racing into the future, consumed by what-ifs? But what if, just for a moment, you could let all of that go? What happens when you focus only on this breath, this heartbeat, this moment? Feel the air move in and out of your lungs. Feel your heartbeat, steady and strong. Notice the way your body anchors you to this moment. The warmth of your breath as it leaves your lips. The weight of your feet grounding you to the earth. This is the present. This is where peace lives. The mind is a restless traveler, always pulling you toward yesterday's regrets or tomorrow's uncertainties. But right here in this moment, you are free. Anxiety cannot thrive in the now because it feeds on anticipation, on what could be, what might go wrong. But here, in this breath, there is only stillness, only you. When you anchor yourself in the now, anxiety loses its grip. It cannot survive in the stillness of your awareness. The mind wants to pull you into spirals of worry, but you are not your thoughts. You are the one watching them. Jung said,
"Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens."
Mindfulness is the act of looking inward, of meeting yourself where you are without judgment. It is the art of witnessing your fears, your worries, your pain, without allowing them to define you. Mindfulness is the gateway, but what lies beyond it? If being present is the first step, what is the destination? The answer is individuation, the profound journey of integrating every aspect of yourself, both light and shadow. This is not just self-improvement, it is self-realization. In the next section, we will explore how embracing every fragment of your being can lead to true wholeness. Stay with me. This is where you step into your power. Jung believed that true healing does not come from suppressing our fears, but from integrating them into our conscious self. He called this process individuation, the merging of all aspects of who we are, including the parts we've rejected, hidden, or been afraid to face. The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. But what if, instead of fearing the unknown within you, you welcomed it? What if you saw your anxiety, your pain, and even your darkness as pieces of a larger whole, waiting to be acknowledged and accepted. Think of yourself as a great puzzle. Every experience, every fear, every hidden desire is a piece. When you ignore a piece, the picture remains incomplete. But as you start to place them together, you begin to see yourself for who you truly are. Not fragmented, not broken, but whole. Individuation is not about perfection. It is about truth. It is about embracing both your highest aspirations and your deepest wounds. Jung reminds us,
I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become.
you are not defined by your past, your fears, or your struggles. You are defined by your ability to integrate them, to learn from them, to transform them into strength. And as you walk this path, something extraordinary happens. You awaken. But what does awakening really mean to you? Is it the moment you stop fearing your emotions? The moment you embrace every part of yourself? Take a moment to reflect. What would it feel like to live without resistance, without fear, fully aligned with who you truly are? You stop living as a fragmented self, torn between conflicting desires and fears. You begin to move as one whole being, integrated, unshaken, and deeply connected to your truth. You stop seeking validation from the outside world because you have found something greater, an unshakable knowing within yourself. You no longer fear your emotions because you understand their purpose. You no longer run from your past because you see it as the foundation of your wisdom. And you no longer hide from your shadow because you recognize that it was never your enemy. It was your guide all along, leading you back to yourself. This is individuation. This is your journey to wholeness, and it begins now. Before you go, I want to hear from you. What part of this journey resonated with you the most? Have you ever faced your shadow? Have you ever listened to the whispers of your unconscious? Share your experience in the comments. I read every single one, and I want this to be a space of deep reflection and connection. If this message touched you, like the video, it helps spread this wisdom to those who need it most. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and join this growing community of seekers and thinkers. You are not alone in this journey. You are part of something bigger. Until next time, embrace your shadow and awaken your soul.